hey, I think Golden's a talented individual. I think he's a great in-game leader. But if he's top fragging, that probably means you're losing.
Yeah, something's gone wrong if your IGL is on top. It's an old phrase, but it's definitely something to live by. We are into the action, though. MIBR versus Fnatic. Inferno ticks off here. Lucas, oh, you can't be missing those. Swung out by top banana above car. Wanted to try and find the opening frag, Tom, but all of them were duds. There was no connection, and he goes down.
Yeah, definitely not the start that you'd be looking for. From casting MIBR's CT side of this map previously, when it came down to them actually getting to the Pro League in the first place, which, for anybody wondering, was very, very close. Like, they were 2-1, I think Fury were 2-1, and they went through on, like, round difference or something. Like, someone else, one of the admin guys, good old Michael, worked it out for me, and I just sat there and went, yes, I agree. But, yeah, they really love their double op setup. And, again, I spoke about it yesterday when we were talking about Na'Vi. I think they have a very powerful double op setup. So do MIBR. Like, Fallen and KNG, it should be phenomenal. So, look forward to that. Definitely going to come in sooner if they can get themselves the pistol round as well, but we'll have to wait and see as it goes right into the A side.
Bursting their way out through the apps. They're able to find 2 frags here and clear out the defense that was set up to hold down A. So now this is claimed as Fnatic territory. Flusher getting a bit aggro though, pushing out behind. Fallen's already been able to slip his way in towards Library, but he's been detected. And Flusher can backstab for free. This should be a nice little easy frag. Oh no, Flusher, don't do it. Oh, you naughty gamer, Tom. Already spilling blood with a blade.
He's taking that money back that he gave to them to help move. It's like, you know, I've earned this. Extra bit of money.
Oh, the wallbang spooked Fur completely there. He was worried.
I think that's one of the main real worries for MIBR at the moment is I look at this team and I do actually question the fragging power. Because Fur is explosive. KNG is explosive. Taco can have very good games, but it's not really the reason. There was like an interview with him where you were asking people their roles, and he went, I'm the support player, I think. Like he doesn't even really know a lot of the time. Like I don't think those are necessarily like roles are set in stone. On this map in particular, he normally plays around the pit. But Fallen can have a very good game still. Lucas could step up, but it's all could. Like, when I look at the other side, I expect Brolin to be a decent fragging power. I expect Crim's the same. JW maybe a little bit more hit and miss. Flusher as well. Like, they're 3 players I can almost rely on a lot of the time. Whereas on the other side, I don't know what's going to happen. Like, stuff like this. Like, that just came out of absolutely nowhere for Lucas. 2 kills up with the Deagle, a scout headshot as well for Fallen. And this round now quickly falls into the Brazilians' control. Out of nowhere.
I mean, out of really what was just a deco from MIBR with 1 scout thrown in for good measure on Fallen, this has gone incredibly well. Fallen opens it up with a scout kill. Lucas, as you said, just punishing towards top banana. Now it comes down to the A play that's coming through. Brolin denied on the push because the grenade is going to slow him down and it'll also break his ankles. And he'll have his neck broken by KNG. Delivers death straight to his door. For the final frag, and that was very clean from MIBR. A nice way to get back into the game, instantly nipping at the heels of Fnatic, and they tie it up 1-1.
That was just a sick round, like across the board.
Oh yeah,
that's what I mean. Like Lucas with 2 kills of the Deagle. I think KNG gets 1. Is it Fur getting 1 and Fallen? Like that doesn't happen very often. Just like every single player stepping up in a round, but it sort of shows again. Like if MIBR play to the level of all the players, they can probably beat most teams. Like maybe someone like Astralis is still going to have the sheer talent to beat them. Fnatic, you could say the same. So this game really does come up in the air. I favor Fnatic just because I believe that later in, like the further they go in tournaments, that when they get into the best of 3s, maybe they'll get off to a slow start, but they just seem to have this resilience that has just been built up over the years. Even the players that have joined them just seem to absorb that resilience, like Brolin in clutch situations. Golden even as well, like when they're having a bad map, he seems to just frag, and it never really makes sense. It's always like with Pronax, like if they were having a bad game, Pronax would get like 20 kills, and you'd always look at it and go, what? And they'd lose. And well, there you go, once again. Like Golden's now just found a Deeg. Had a very little, almost the kill coming in there, but this is a bit of an elaborate ruse as the rest of the players look to try and make some presence known. The only problem is with Golden going down, yeah, I was about to say, that means someone has to go back and get the bomb. Bit of a dicey spray, but still going. Actually, Brolin is going to get the kill.
Fallen's on 1 HP, and he's the player that's rotated over towards Arch side as well. It's a 1-1 split in terms of the Fnatic players that are alive, though. Brolin, starting to back off now, wants to regroup with Crims if possible. He has the utility, so he does need to be there. They can smoke off towards CT, push in. This will isolate KNG, make it much harder for him. 20 seconds left into the round. KNG just holding strong, waiting for the push to come. Fnatic, if they're going to go for this, it has to be soon. They're going to do the smoke on the fly. Instead, using it over towards Coffins. KNG's got a clear angle for him. He should be able to spray him down, but Brolin, he gets the kill. Fallen's there. He's only got 1 HP, but he's still fragging. Time's up. They can't do anything into the round. It's over.
This was a mess.
That was very weird.
I understand the idea of like going for the smoke towards that side instead and just trying to fight the Coffins, or fight CT, sorry. Because you kind of know that the CT player is likely to be that little bit closer. And if you try and get a plant where there's someone still in the church, chance of you getting it down are very slim. Unfortunately, their focus kind of went away. I don't think they expected anybody to rotate in that quickly. So it is going to be a second onto the board, and more importantly, a chance to really build up finances for the CT side. Although there's still going to be Brolin with a gun. Flusher actually has a CZ. Golden with a Molotov. Like, it's kind of weird, but hey, we'll see what they do with it.
2 nades used towards second mid. Fair bit of damage done. Not a crazy amount, but nice enough. Brolin just trying to peer over the top of the smoke towards Boiler, seeing if he can turn up the heat here, but there's not really a chance for it. However, someone that is going to be quite heavy-handed into the round is definitely going to be KNG. Looks like they're setting up for the mid-burst. He's primed and ready. AWP scoped in. Just a matter of time until he starts laying them down. However, are they going to commit to this?
Looking like the build-up's there. I think that Molotov was just used to stop players pushing down B. I think that was sole purpose from Golden. Peek out, missed shot. That is going to mean that that position at least is isolated, and they're going to try and quickly move on to short. Chance of them getting away with much is slim, and now that the rifle's gone, this should just be an easy cleanup. A confidence boost around for Lucas as he sprays down 3 kills, and a flawless one for MIBR. So more importantly, they got a big boost of cash.
It's a great start on their CT side, right? If there's one way to bring it back instantly from the pistol round, this has been the way to do it. Looking a lot more effective into these rounds. Fnatic, though, reinvesting. AKs are coming out on parade. We do have 2 UMPs as well on Brolan and Flusher. They have got a nice amount of utility. MIBR going for the 3-man setup towards the B site as well. One of them not being the AWP. KNG still going to be aiming towards the A side. They're battling for Banana. They want to establish control very early on. Lucas, quite bold, just pushes down. Does find the opening pick. At this point, they can fall back and just sit pretty. They're going to be happy with this. Should have the rotation from Fallen over towards A, and he needs to get there quick. Because Fnatic, they're coming through the apps.
Yeah, they're just playing patiently, though. KNG will be watching, but he's taken down by JW. It does a lot of damage. Fallen re-peaks with such low HP. I don't think he realized how much he had been tagged, but Taco, he's looking to survive. A rotation's already come in. There's actually a fairly stacked site now as Lucas once again is able to get a kill, but it's JW doing everything. 3 now to his name. An AWP retrieved. The thing is, though, Taco knows that his survival is everything, and look at the rotation back. JW has been informed by his teammate that B site is going to be completely clear. Golden doesn't have to do anything here. He can just wait patiently. There should be absolutely no way that Fer knows he's here, and with the bomb about to go down, this should be a free kill. Very smart movement coming out from Golden. Some great shots hit from JW. Taco's still in with a chance here. Money's not in the best of positions. He's going to try throwing out the smoke, but he's making a fair amount of noise. Luckily, there's nobody close enough to hear him. And I actually like how Golden's repositioned as well, because now Taco has to check absolutely everything on his way forward. And the chances are, by the time he gets there, he will have run out of time.
Yeah, he's not really going to be able to efficiently go for this. Golden, he spotted out a little bit of leg as well, so they completely have the read. They know where he is. They can both exit towards Banana. Actually, Golden, with time ticking away at 63 HP, he's going to have to try and push out here. He does get spotted. Rapid little headshot coming through there from Taco to take him down, but it won't matter too much. JW was the one they needed to survive. He had the AWP on him with only 1 HP, and he gets away. 3-2 as Fnatic finally get another round. Going to drop that warp across as well. So they'll reinvest into this. Limited cash, but they'll still be able to get an okay buyout with what they want to play with. 2 AKs, they've got the AWP there. JW will pick it back up. Now they've dropped the guns out. TUMP. It's pretty much the same as what we had last round, really, so it's not all doom and gloom. KNG has gone for the glass cannon AWP, and we've got Fallen on one as well. So here comes that double AWP setup that is a bread and butter play of MIBR top.
Yeah, and I think this is where things are going to become that much tougher. It's basically one of the legendary primary AWPers who's been pushed to a secondary, basically off his own doing, because he did bring in another AWPer. But it means for certain maps, certain plays, somewhat a little bit unexpected. Like, you have to remember, most teams don't run a double AWP setup on Inferno. Some teams don't even run one. Like, a little bit rarer, but 2 AWPs definitely sets you up in retake scenarios where it can be difficult, especially when you consider plays like bursting out apartments. It can be a problem, but MIBR are definitely a team that seem to make it work. In fact, a lot of their CT side seems to rely on this. Now, in this round specifically, they're relying heavily on Fallen. They've gone for the 4-1 rotation. It means that they're set up well on this A site as players look to run in. Brolin's already going to be gone within a second, and the crossfire from Fer is going to be integral. He almost dies, but more importantly, he keeps KNG standing. The rotation back, they now know that there's only going to be one player on this side of the map, but Fallen, you can see the more important thing from him here is his movement. Just falling back to the site, taking pick after pick. There's no way they can trade this frag because he just doesn't give them the chance to. And now Fer can do Fer things, peeking through the smoke, leaving JW alone. And that is the round over. It's a good round out from MIBR. Everything pretty much goes to plan, except maybe Fer almost dying. And they're going to have one flawlessly again. The second one out of the 4 rounds they won, which is going to be clean. Unless, of course, Taka goes down.
That was a nicely predicted round. Bold confidence there, the full trust in Fallen to just hold and defend towards the B site, which he did to a good level, obviously being able to lurk around, gets the frags when they do eventually push through. It all worked out the way they wanted to. A lot of trust in the double AWP setup, but you know, with 2 primary AWPers essentially on one roster, you can roll with it. You know they're going to be able to hit those shots, and MIBR looking fairly effective here. CT side early on into the game, Tom.
Yeah, I think that's something you can rely on with Fallen more than most, is that, okay, he may not necessarily hit every single shot, but the chances are he'll be able to do it without going down. And then that's, when you're playing a solo role on B, that's so valuable to your team. Like, if he can just fall back, get into a new position, and basically mean that they're still trying to kill him off while all the rotations are happening, can't really ask for much more.
Well, it's like the methodology of, like, you know, a device-style AWPer or a simple-style AWPer. And it's just in that way, where you're either going to be very outlandish and know, I'm going to hit this shot 100% of the time, so I don't care where I stand, and I'll go for the flashy play, or I will go for the really high percentage play, where I'm going to stay alive and guarantee a frag.
Yeah, I don't think there's too many AWPers that do that. I think Otto's actually another one where he's very much the high percentage AWPer. Like, you'll sometimes look at his stats and see, like, 25 kills, and you'll go, but how? Like, but it will just be, he'll be getting a pick here and there, and he does it so consistently that it's very valuable to the team. And again, that's something that, although Fallen can be a very flashy AWPer, he still knows his positioning so well that you can't even tell that he's missed 3 shots because he's also got 4 kills. Fer, his aggression once again almost punished. You have to bear in mind that this round is still a minimal investment for Fnatic. Now, the problem is their backwards and forwards rounds has left them in a position where they don't have too much money, and they're relying so much on JW to get them picks here. And unfortunately for them, the CT side are just hiding on the site. They're playing passive, dinked up a second player. They're doing a lot of damage here. In fact, the third player, somehow, the pistols have done enough. It's left them in a 3 versus 2. The rotation from the CT side, I think they're questioning whether they even move because Fer's only on 11 HP. Fallen also has an AWP. We mentioned this. Retakes with AWPs. It's not ideal. And somehow Fnatic have managed to win a round with 1 AWP that only got 1 kill. I think it was a P250 and a Glock.
Yeah, they've brought the ruckus to A site. Heads have started rolling. I don't know how they've managed to do it, but they do win out on those firefights. Ones that should have been so advantageous for MIBR, but not today, not here, not right now on Inferno. They've crumbled under the pressure. And Fnatic do get a 3rd round, finally coming back into it. Looking pretty good into that. They're keeping it close, though. It's a competitive early game here on Inferno. The rounds being traded between the two. MIBR, smart stuff. I like to see it. Instantly going for a tactical timeout, though. Slow it down. You've lost one round. Talk about it. See what went wrong. See how you can adapt as well. They'll use this to work out the buy, as the cash isn't phenomenal.
No, in the game that they played yesterday, they did struggle a fair bit on their CT side. So it would definitely, like, I think it was a 9-6 half in the first.
Right.
Where they actually managed to get 6 rounds on the T side, which is not awful, but it is definitely surprising that all in all they weren't doing too much on the CT side. I don't know if that's something that's going to be recreated as well by MIBR. I'll be interested to see how their T side goes. I actually expect them to get more rounds on their CT side as well, especially with this double AWP setup. But I definitely think this is going to be a close matchup, probably all the way through. I would not be surprised to see this go to 3 maps, but at the same time, I could easily see one of the teams like scraping both, like 16-13, 16-12, whatever, where it just comes down to maybe a bit of momentum and some individual brilliance. The problem is, as said, I do see Fnatic just being so resilient in these best of 3s. Like, we've seen them win tournament while dropping a map in every single series. They're not brilliant at winning it clean. Nade stack onto Taco. He plays this position so commonly that it's fair enough. Like, give that a go, and it did a lot of damage. Unfortunately, Golden is also down to 35, and in fact, the total amount of damage has actually done more onto Fnatic.
It was a nice bit of presence established, at least, towards the A site. And you have got 4 players stacked there. The only man that's on B isn't Fallen this time around with that solo AWP. Instead, it is going to be Fur, trying to lock it down with a Kalashnikov if he is tested. Both of the AWPs that are available for MIBR this round are in play on A. Fallen finally starts to rotate. But is it a little bit too late into this? They're setting themselves up. Crims has the flash ready. And there's going to go the smoke for CT. And this is where Fur needs to do some damage.
Fallen smoke's actually quite well timed. They don't even have a smoke for CT. They're going to have to face this AWP, and this is just exactly what Fallen wants. He still gets taken down by Flusher, though. And once again, it comes down to Fur, but KNG now rotates him fast enough. I don't know what's going on with Fnatic when it comes to utility, but they're definitely making mistakes. Nonetheless, they've managed to take control of the site. The bomb is going to be going down, and you can see, oh, I thought JW was going to be able to catch someone on the rotation. That position from Taco could actually win them the round, because JW is not now looking in that direction. The problem is no kit.
Taco's also taking it very slow here, inch by inch, waiting until they cleared the site so he can try and have a better inkling of where exactly both of these Fnatic players are in the post plant. JW probably gets the frag here as he spins out. And Flusher, he could be so pivotal to the success of the round, but he needs to get the spray down off. It's a 2K that comes out, 6 HP left for him, but time is gone. There's no chance for Taco. He has to run out of there. Flusher will die to the bomb blast as he spams into the corpses. But Taco does recover JW's AWP at least.
I'm liking this. I always like seeing Flusher playing well, and that was a huge round from him. 4 kills, the most important one, obviously. Well, I don't know, he got the 2 edges into the site and the 2 to clutch it out. So basically single-handedly dragging them through. And I have to say, like, seeing him back in that Fnatic jersey makes me very happy. I think he's been dearly missed by this team with just the fact that he can just dominate maps. I will say, though, from what I've seen so far in Pro League, Crims has been fairly disappointing, which before like Flusher came back, or at least when Fnatic ever played well, or even if they played bad, it would seem like Crims would get 20, 30 kills no matter what. It would just be the rest of the team that were underwhelming. Maybe it means he's taken some more sacrificial roles, which is a possibility. But I don't like to see it. Brolin, though, he's been fantastic all the way through, and he's looking to just pad those stats, get those numbers that little bit higher, have a better HLTV rating than everyone else. He's going to get a couple of eco kills. It's only going to be Lucas now with that AWP. And once again, they're going to look to pressure. I am liking the way that Fnatic are so happy to just switch their gaze back towards the other side of the map after getting the openings, expecting rotations to go in the other direction. JW is going to be able to get the bomb down without any resistance.
Lucas. He was set up for the shot, but he's not going to land. It doesn't fire off quickly enough there, and Flusher punishes with the AK. This could be a flawless round for Fnatic. Fur hiding behind the sandbags, but Golden, he knows about these tricks. Spams around the corner, will get the kill. And it's all up to Taco just by speedway. Doesn't really matter what happens to him here. He is going to go down. The Flusher will push. And Fnatic, they've got the advantage.
Yeah, now 5-4 up on the T side. CT side, as mentioned, they have a very expensive setup that they like to run, and it's not going to be coming in for a fair amount of time now. Like, even if they manage to win this round, unless they retrieve the AWP, there isn't going to be another. And as I said, I think they're quite reliant on it. Like, we watched the rounds that they won previously. It was KNG able to get an opener, falling back on the B site. Like, they seem to go hand in hand with that double orb setup on opposite sides of the map. And without it, I'm not saying they can't win rounds, but their CT side just seems a little bit flat.
The chance of them winning the rounds definitely drops off a lot more. They're not able to find the opening picks that they really need. Fallen isn't able to find a pick at all there as he rotates around towards Archside. Luckily, Lucas will come out to play. He's come out swinging. Gets the first back on a golden. Flusher will trade it. They're left into a 3 versus 3. A site is being tested. Fnatic want to take it as their territory, but they've lost JW in the apartments. And this is where it gets really awkward, Tom. It's just down to Crims in a 1 versus 3 now. From rags to riches, MIBR have brought it back in the round.
Yeah, they've even retrieved that free AWP as mentioned, and there isn't a smoke for Crims. Luckily,
there's a completely empty B-bomb site.
Yeah, no one's rotated yet, so this is absolutely fine. But he expects someone to be there at this point, which, fair enough. And I'm liking it. Like, this shows how slow that rotation actually was. And there you go. That's the first peek. Now Crims knows, okay, there's definitely nobody here. If that's someone just like having a little shoulder peek, then there's no chance that anybody could be within the site. It is the clutch king of Crims. This is the man we always want in these sort of situations, but he gets wrecked. A peek out from Fur, a little bit further forward than he might have expected. And now they can go on a retrieval mission for all that extra weaponry, get the defusal onto the bomb, and even up the scoreline once again.
This game is very back and forth at the minute. A lot of rounds being traded. Krieg going to be scavenged as well. The AWP goes through on KNG and the AK for Tacos. They'll be pretty happy with the way things went down in that round, only losing 2 players overall. It's not that bad. For Fnatic, at the very least, they got the bomb plant. And they do have money to invest in the AWP. Flush is going to drop that back over to JW. So the Wonder Child still has his Wonder Cannon.
Yeah, unfortunately, so far, I feel like a lot of their rounds have been very reliant on Brolin and, more importantly, Flusher. And then it's been some sort of ecos in between. As mentioned, the AWP is going to be back in play, but only the singular. Which means they're actually going to switch KNG over to the other side of the map, at least for the early portion of the round. Just make sure that there's nobody able to really get aggressive and set up his teammates quite nicely. And then they'll go back and bolster that defense. Crossfire from Lucas and Taco, I think, has been strong so far. Golden, the classic, getting stuck on a smoke. Love that, right?
It's my favorite. The nade does enough damage as well. Ooh. There's the follow-up. Eventually comes in as it updates. A lot of damage done. It's Golden. He's tanking them. He's taking all of the grenades to the face today.
Fairly small amount of information at the moment for the CT side. This is sort of the problem of playing so passive. Now, that's why we always like to see Fallen having that sort of peek around the wall, is they have much more of an idea as to where their opponents are actually going. And that's actually why Fallen's starting to get a little bit aggressive, because he doesn't want to pull any rotations away from the A site before he knows that something's actually coming. KNG, timing's going to be everything here. Golden facing the wrong way, and that's the free kill. This will now give them the information that it's going to be a B play, because why would a man be trying to fight around the arch with 20 seconds if there's no one else there?
This time CT is smoked for once, but what isn't blocked off is the line of sight for Fallen. However, he won't be seeing things anymore. His eyes have been torn out by Brolin. Fur at the back of the site, no one's expected it, and at the right time he strikes. That's the round over. There's no chance to get the bomb down now. Everyone's caught in disarray. Crims barely trying to stay alive. His head's going to get popped off. JW will find 1 as a consolation prize at the end of the round, but it doesn't matter. The round goes the way of MIBR. It's 6-5 now, Tom.
Yeah, I'm surprised that if you go into the site that late, you kind of have to make sure that you've cleared everything. Well, MIBR are going to capitalize on that. That's a couple of times now. Fur's been in a bit of a sneaky position. It's going to be a reason for Fnatic to take a tactical pause. And I think the other reason is that their money is in disarray. Like, you've got 2 players who can buy. You've got JW, who has no choice because he kept his gun from the previous round and has $700 total. So this does seem like a forced buy situation where you kind of have to go for a buy, just because otherwise you'll have disjointed money all the way through the map. as we can see, though, Lucas actually performing very well. We've seen some decent spray downs from him when they have rushed into his crosshair. Fur at the back of the site. And these are sort of the people you want to be performing. Like, Taco doesn't necessarily need to be the man hitting those highest numbers, the biggest stats. He's just the man. He's the last form of defense in a way, because he's playing pit. Whereas your people like KNG, Fur, Fallen, and even Lucas at times, they're going to be the aggressors, the ones looking to actually take map control away, look to fight a little bit more aggressively on other portions of the map. So KNG goes right back to it. It is going to be a somewhat investment, but mainly just down to JW once again.
Standard early round aggression from Fnatic towards top banana. Flusher this time is the man that pushes up towards the wall. He might actually find an opening frag with a Deagle. Takes their damage as they're just spamming out. He survives on 1 HP. And look at him, he's wilding out. He's on the trampoline, jumping up and down. Golden, bit bloodthirsty. Unfortunately, he's killed Roland. This could be a little bit awkward, especially as they're going to have to run through the fire and the flames to get towards the bomb site now. And the rotation's coming around. KNG, he's arrived on the scene. Oh! JW, you absolute superstar! That is disgusting, Tom.
They shouldn't even be going for this anymore. I'm surprised that Lucas is actually rotating in the direction, and that's another kill that's coming from JW. He's been relatively quiet so far, but this round has been a step up from him, and that's twice now. That is twice where Fnatic have come into a round with some pistols and an AWP. The AWP, initially at least, hasn't done too much. Broland seems to be one of the stars of the show when it comes to those rounds, and Fnatic have taken it away, and these are rounds that MIBR can't afford to lose. Now, I will give them the benefit of the doubt that it can happen more on Inferno. I think there's lots of opportunities with pistols. You see it all the time with apps bursts and with aggressive rushes like that. Like, players can be overwhelmed, but it's still not rounds that you can afford to lose in the grand scale of the map. This evens things up now. The buy that comes in is just going to be kind of shoddy from MIBR. They've taken a tactical pause off the back of it, and now they need to try and recreate some of the miracles that Fnatic have with their pistols. And it's the same problem that we actually saw yesterday in the match versus Heroic, where Flusher on the B site of Vertigo was just able to get so many kills with the CZ that made absolutely no sense. And it ruined the map for Heroic. Like, if you remove all of their CZ kills that Flusher got, 100% guarantee Heroic win the game. But because of just that alone, it was enough.
It's always been a gun that historically has been so powerful under the Fnatic banner. Fnatic CZ.
Yeah, well, the Flusher CZ in particular.
Oh, yeah.
Like, this map and Flusher and the CZ is some of my favorite stuff to watch. He hasn't actually had it. I'd only expect it to really come in on the CT side, but he's performing well. And as said, it brings a smile to my face at least, because I have very fond memories of Flusher doing some of the craziest stuff in Counter-Strike history.
Oh, very much so. They were at the forefront of it. Now, going back in time, really, as the Deagles are out for show. Round 13 here, 6-6. It's all tied up as we get close towards the end of the first half. Best of 3 between MIBR and Fnatic to see who will carry on in the tournament here. Fur, very aggressive. He's pushing up close towards the wall. He's about to be tested so heavily. The flashbang is perfect. Unfortunately, he doesn't get any frags. And Flusher, he's popping heads, ripping craniums off left, right, and center. Fallen over the Deagle. Absolutely disgusting, Tom. He gets the follow-up frag onto Roland as well. He's slowed down the push for now and left them into a 3 versus 2. But Lucas has the M4. Taco only has a Deagle.
Taco's definitely one of those players, though, that can pop a head or two. The problem is you have to realize this isn't like one of those like half buys or where you're just investing a few pistols ready for the next round. This is everything that the Brazilians have in the bank. So even if they kill every single player and lose the round, they're still going to be stuck for the next round. And Taco does a lot of damage at least, but the T side literally can just wait for that bomb to tick away. They don't even have a kit, so they have to kill them so ridiculously fast. And JW over the last few rounds has started to become more and more clinical. It gets better with time, it seems. Lucas is at least going to be able to kill him off, and that's the AWP drop to the deck. It may even finish off the remainder of the team, but he also goes down to the bomb. And weird that that was the scenario I mentioned with everyone dying.
Yep.
But at the same time, it is the result I said. Still money for Fnatic. They can buy into this round with no problems at all. MIBR, they can't buy at all. So, sure, it's a great amount of damage. It's a nice little thing to go, hey, look how much damage we did with this little. Oh dear, I did not expect this.
Oh dear, indeed. Going into round 14, this is not ideal whatsoever. 2 MP9s have been brought out from MIBR. So it's a 3-man stack over towards top Banana. They've been fighting quite heavily for Banana control. They've really wanted to battle for it. I don't know why they've been so aggressive, but into this round, Fallen just straight sprints down. He's been sat down as well. Left laid out on the ground. Flusher, he's hungry for more. He's got a taste for blood. JW, a bit of an awkward miss. He's been hitting some tasty shots, but he couldn't get the easy one. Luckily, Flusher's there to trade it out. And already, Fnatic are in a great position for the round.
I do genuinely feel like I'm watching some of the older iterations of Counter-Strike sometimes when I watch Flusher. Like, he's incredible with the CZ, which was nerfed.
Yep. And
he's now playing with the UMP, which at one point was probably the best gun in the whole game. Now he's kind of, it's okay. But he's just like, oh, it's still good. I'll show you it's still good. It's sort of like watching Chris J with his obsession with the MP7. It's just like, no one else uses this gun. And it was the same with the SG, so I wouldn't even be surprised if we get to like 6 months' time and someone's like, wow, the MP7's actually really overpowered, and Chris J's like, no, shut up. don't say that. Taco, he's got to lurk him from behind. But this is what I mean, like that looks like the old UMP, where he just tapped someone's head off at range. Wasn't even an assist on that. He's gonna do it again. He just got 4 kills with a bleeding ump.
Missed the old UMP. Straight from the go UMP. Not the new UMP. The Flusher fragging
I think he's got the old one.
He's brought it out.
He's got his own patch. We've got to see how quickly he can switch from an AWP to a CZ. If it's too quick, then we know that he's managed to somehow patch his game differently to everyone else. That just seems to know the pattern perfectly every single time. And this is the problem. I didn't expect MIBR to force into that round, I'll be honest. That's what I was talking about ecos. Now, I kind of get it because they did so much damage, but at the same time, they've now ended up with this buy, which is almost exactly the same. I like the setup. They've done a lot of damage early on, and Golden was completely disorientated pushing in there. JW trying to hit as many shots as possible. Are they going to peek him together? I assume they're going to peek him together. Oh no, they're just going to smoke him off instead.
Oh, it's all about the decals this round. We saw 2 from Lucas, 1 picked up by KNG. He's also been able to scavenge himself a Krieg. And he could be a bit of a contract killer with this gun. Flusher and JW, the last 2 remaining Ts. Make that just the one. Scratch Flusher out of the equation as he has been laid to rest. JW, he wants a piece of the Deagle-based pie. He'll get a single frag with it, but that is it. He is done. Stick a fork in him. It's over. 8-7 at the half. We'll see how this one's going to carry on in the second half after the break. We are back to business. Going back to basics here on Inferno. Fnatic, 8 rounds. MIBR, 7. It's as close as it could be at the half. How's it going to go, though, in the opening round? Round 16. Let's get into the second pistol, Tom.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing what Fnatic have today, because their CT side was poor when we saw them versus Heroic. That was one of the main reasons they lost the map. But also JW wasn't performing at all, so that could be the trade-off. Already, Golden going to be starting things off. Nade goes down, or at least I thought it was going to. They've kept onto them. They've still got a couple. Could look to try and dunk it onto the planter, which seems to be the idea. And Flush is actually just going to dome him instead. And speaking of the dome, it's going to be Taco already managing to do a lot of damage. KNG has found another in the meantime, back into a 3v3 situation. I'm not sure if there was actually a kit either for the CT side, but it doesn't seem to be the case. So they need to get on this defusal relatively quickly. Taco with another headshot taken out, and this is just clinical as it gets, leaving just Crims alone. And MIBR, they've got another pistol round.
That is a beaut of a pistol round. Incredible stuff. Tasteful shots from Taco as he tackles anyone that came towards him. Clean stuff. A lot of headshots and a lot of damage done. That's one way to kick off the second half, and definitely shows there is momentum for MIBR.
Yeah, the worry is, can they get past these pistols? As mentioned, we've got the CZs out. Flusher, I would say, like, over the course of the life of the CZ, I'd say he's the best CZ player of all time. I think there's been some players like Kenny, for example, where you could, like the buffed one, where you could flick to it, who was probably better at that point. But I think over the full Gun's life, I think the Flush is the best CZ player ever. Although people can shout at me and tell me I'm wrong if they feel like it, because
I think he's definitely the most iconic for it.
Yeah, that's true.
Like, absolutely.
Yeah, I'm not talking about statistics.
No,
I'm talking
but
about
like
feelings.
Yeah. He's got a lot of, you know, bangers. Certified bangers with that gun, Tom.
Let's just ignore the Cloud9 era, though. Just in general, not even like
don't worry about
for
that.
the gun. That didn't happen.
Are you sleeping on Cloud9?
Yes. Currently, they don't even have a team, so I don't think that's too much of a too much of an insult.
Fair enough. I mean, it'll probably be quite comfortable being on Cloud9. Oh! That's not going to be comfortable at all. Fur.
Oh, he even gets the next one as well.
This is disgusting.
They got 1 dig, 2 nade kills. This is going so well for Fnatic. Taco has to be the savior here.
There's his nade. Not as effective.
No. But I would have had to be very good to kill anyone in this scenario. Crims is having fun with his deagle animations at the moment, but they haven't thrown down the smoke. This is interesting. I suppose at range, they do definitely have the advantage. There it goes. Taco's still trying to get it. They've got 15 seconds. I didn't even notice that. The time's almost gone. I've been enjoying all these kills coming in. Flusher does get taken out, but they've still got to deal with Golden. He's now moved to the back of the site. All he has to do is get these final kills, and that's exactly what will happen. Brolin steals one away. You can't stop this kid getting his stats up. But yeah, this is something else I said. Like, it seems like Golden just has these rounds, which I don't think we see too often from a lot of other in-game leaders, where it's just so impactful and just changes the game. And that's exactly what he's done here. He's almost single-handedly won them around. Like, obviously, the 2 dunks that came in from JW and Flusher definitely helped. But without his kills, hey, probably would have slipped away.
Yeah, it was a very beautiful round. Literally like the 101 of CT side Inferno utility usage was on display there. It was basically just the tech demo for it, so go watch that round again if you want to learn some top tricks with grenades. Flusher showing off the KZ moves as he glides through the air like an acrobat. He is slayed. Fallen is done for. Everyone else is probably going to follow suit fairly quickly as well, as it's all been left on Taco. 1 man and a deagle in a pretty awkward location. Oh no! 7 HP, Tom. He was nearly banged through the wall. Oh! So many deagle frags over the course of this match, and we're only a couple of rounds in.
You gotta love it. You gotta love it. But 10-8, that was a full investment as well from MIBR. So the polar opposite to what we saw from Fnatic, like managing to win a round away, steal not only 2 SGs but an AK as well, and now there's an eco. So this, let's put it this way: if Fnatic now lose this map, they have had almost every advantage. They did enough on their T side to get 8 rounds. They win the force buy in the second, which is now the worst the T's economy can be. you have weapons from their side, you have a boost of economy, you're facing an eco, and you're 11-8 in the lead. So if they now go on to lose this map, either they have completely thrown it away, which is the one I'm leaning towards, or MIBR are going to have to step up massively and really show a strong T side. So it's definitely looking good for the Swedes on their map choice. Of course, Dust 2 is to come up next, but we're a long way away. Brolin, again, getting a lot of those anti-eco kills. I don't think they're going to mind. A couple of fairly clean rounds. 4 and 5 players staying alive. Look at the money already, which is one of the things you really want to stop happening on Inferno especially. Like, one of the main things that helps the T side out is, okay, let's not let them build up a stupid amount of utility. Instead, they can have anything they want.
Yeah, it doesn't really matter. The bank spiraling out of control. With the amount of money they've got here, they could make Lethal Weapon 5, Tom.
They could. Don't know why they would, but, you know.
Not going to get lethal, though. This is where the action definitely is going to be just that. Fleur and Lucas. Oh, Lucas with a double kill. As heads are rolling all over the shop. They've been able to push their way up towards the B site. Crims tries to slow down this onslaught. It's just barreling their way through. They have got side control. He's been ward off the smoke to go down. Line of sight completely restricted for the 2 CTs that remain. Brolin comes over, but can he aid them?
So they've got a lot of money on the CT side. I'd still like to see them just hold on to their guns. Firstly, they're 2 guns they can't even buy. Secondly, you've got a full, or almost a full set of utility.
Before you can do that.
Yeah, I don't really understand that play. I get the concept of wanting to reduce the amount of money that MIBR are going to be making, but just keep your guns. Like, there could be a time where MIBR win a few rounds in a row, and you now have that extra money because you saved these weapons, and that was in a round that you never really stood a chance of winning. Now, Crims is just going to do that. He's going to retreat back. But yeah, great trades, great aggressive play coming in from MIBR to start off this round. It is one of those rounds where I feel like it is quite difficult to recreate on a regular basis unless we're going to see the same mistakes made from Fnatic, which, hey, I don't have a 2020 vision. I can't see into the future. I'm not going to claim that they won't, but just for anybody wondering, I don't think 2020 vision allows you.
I was going to say, is that just like
clear
that standard across the board? If you have 2020, you can just see in the future.
I don't know. I think I was told that I needed glasses because I was like 0.1% short-sighted by my optician, and I left. I was like, how much for the glass? No, I'll take the 0.1%. 0.1%. I think that's okay.
It blew my mind when I first went to the cinema after I had got given glasses for the first time and realised that cinema screens aren't blurry just because they're big.
Are you sure you didn't try and go into a 3D film without the 3D glass?
That would have been a mistake.
That does sound sort of like,
wait a minute.
Wow, this is really blurry.
The pictures come at me now? Well, let's see if this one is going to be looking like a 3D film with MIBR bursting towards the A site. Not right now. Instead, they're backing off. It's going to be more of a 4D experience towards B, Tom, I'd imagine. It means you get to smell the round.
Yeah, or you get hit by shrapnel, which I'm not sure that's the most wonderful thing in the world. Either way, Golden, this is such an aggro position. He now knows there's players here. He gets one, but is he just going to be traded out? If so, not worth it, but he doubles up. Smoke's going to fall as well, which will now mean that Flusher could just hide behind the smoke. Where else would you want Flusher to be? He's going to spray down all 3! This is where this man lives, behind the smoke, waiting for you.
That's quite sinister, isn't it?
It is. He just murdered 3 people. Like, I don't think it gets much more sinister than that.
Call the police. This is not okay.
Joe, I actually did go and see the first Matrix film.
Right.
In 4D.
Yeah.
And it had like a chair that would punch you in the back. Like, literally, like you got hit whenever he did. And for the first time it happened, crap myself because I was like, what? And
you like drop your popcorn everywhere.
Yeah, it
and
scared the life out of me. It starts raining in there as well. Like when it's raining, which happens quite a lot in the first Matrix film.
It's quite wet.
Just,
it's quite
just
damp.
starts dripping down, and
so you were moist and getting punched about.
Yeah, it was a good film though.
Yeah, it sounds like a good day.
I hadn't watched it in the cinema ever.
Right.
I was a bit young when it came out, but yeah, it was a good experience. back hurt a bit by the end because he does get into quite a lot of fights.
Yeah, there's a lot of
bit of a violent man.
Yeah, he's an angry boy. He's an angry boy. Much like Flusher. 21 frags. A lot of killing has been done. He's been punching people in the back all day today.
He did get a knife kill. So.
Puncher in the back on that one.
There you go.
Oh, that nade could have been absolutely glorious. So close.
It seems like the T's are now just opting to avoid it. It was one of the ways that they managed to win a round early on in this T side was to just try and brute force it. And in this round, I wouldn't really blame them. They don't have a massive amount of utility, even a few weapons missing. Flusher, I think he just got the slightest spot. Golden's going to get wrecked by Lucas, and it's going to be the same again. The two players on that B site completely overwhelmed. JW a little bit late to the party. They didn't even have to smoke CT in the end. Again, it's one of those scenarios where I kind of understand wanting to try and get that pick, maybe give your team a chance to get back into the round, but handing away the AWP, sure, they're going to be able to buy another one. As said, money's not really an issue at the moment for Fnatic, but it seems like an unnecessary gun to give away, and KNG, well, he could smell it from the other side. He was like, oh, there's an ult back there. I'm going to go get it, guys.
Is this Tom Biz ASMR?
We've already had that once with the pickles.
Oh.
I was supposedly gonna. Well, that was gonna be my new stream.
Right.
Me just eating pickles, but you know.
I'd watch. I'd give you my my Amazon Prime sub, mate.
The worst thing about that is it was a joke just for the sound
Right.
that they make when you eat them.
They're quite crunchy because they've got a lot of water in them.
Because I don't actually like them. So it really would. I would need to get a hell of a lot of subs for me to do that.
Yeah.
And I don't think I have the dedication.
We'll do it for the post show. We'll just get you a crate of pickles and let you go wild.
Definitely not. that would be horrible for so many reasons. Mainly for me. But you know what? We should probably start telling people where people are going to be standing in this round. Because we are going to have some aggression into Banana once again. Maybe not expecting so many nades to be thrown down. Flusher only with an SMG.
Ooh.
I wonder if they might expect... Yeah, I'm expecting to go running and gunning.
Hold W, hold mouse one.
Oh my God.
One success, that's what he's going to get. Flusher causing atrocities with his unrivaled ferocity into the round. This man's a bit of a lunatic, and it's going so well for him. We're left into a 4 versus 2, a mere matter of seconds into round 23, Tom. This is not good whatsoever for MIBR.
I reckon he's that guy that plays DM with an SMG. Because the control he seems to have over the MP9, like, most people are accurate with it, but he just sprayed perfectly and headshot someone through smoke just based off the few traces that they shot back through.
He really is a 100% sick gamer.
Yeah. I'd be comfortable giving him any weapon, even an R8. I bet you the Flusher's a dom with the R8.
Do you know it's still 100% accurate whilst moving?
Yeah, but it still sucks.
Yeah.
It's sort of like if you look at the stats of the dual breaders. It looks really good, but it's not.
Well, 2 guns are always better than 1, Tom. Don't be ridiculous.
Cool. It's just like more bullets with the PP Bison is better than less bullets. Either way, they're going to try and make a play into the B site. 20 seconds left on the clock. Golden up above. Waiting, but he gets wrecked. They should have enough time to get the bomb down now, and Flusher not going to be challenging this alone. Look at JW, though. He's on a hot flank. It will be heard. He comes jumping into the angle. Fallen has to get off the bomb, and JW returns to prominence. 13th on the board for the Swedes. And the T's, well, they've got by. Thereabouts.
Yeah, they can afford to reinvest. They'll splash the money. That's the last pause used as well now from MIBR. I mean, at least they've used them all to talk about this, considering just how close this game actually has been, but it's not a good sign if they've not got any left going forward, especially when Fnatic just looks so dominant. And I don't know, Tom. It's getting quite worrying here on Inferno.
It's this second one. Like, he sees the traces and then just goes, yep, that's the spot.
This was
sick as
well.
I said sick, you said
right.
nice. So it's the slight differences.
Yeah. I'll call my mum. I'll tell her you copied me.
Yeah, I think people can tell by looking at us that we're slightly different people. You are covered in hair. I have none. I have a completely plain T-shirt, and you have one covered in cherries.
Yeah.
If anything, you have the cherry on top.
You're saying I'm quite fruity because you'd be correct.
Oh, I'd use the word snazzy.
Oh, thank you, I do appreciate that. You know who else is snazzy? JW with some of the smooth moves he's been bringing out. He has definitely not been pulling any punches today. That's the first awkward miss that he's going to have go into the round. The follow-up doesn't connect either, but he's got an awful lot of information into the round. Starts to punish as Fallen will go down, looking for a little bit more. There's the trade back from Fur, as Crims is going to have his head ripped off.
Roland in this pit, though, is going to be a tough player to remove. You're going to expect him, and that's the bomb. That's the bomb already dropped. Roland also gets a kill, but this round has fallen into disarray. Taco is left all on his lonesome. I don't even know where he took damage from there. Oh, it's from the pit. 1 HP. Roland just tagging him down for JW to finish the job. And well, now we get to the worst case scenario, really, for MIBR. $2,250 is the maximum we see after the loss bonus is minimal. And even a save here going in with 2,400, they'll be getting a bare bones buy. I don't even think we've seen an AWP that they've purchased on the T side. I think KNG managed to save one once, and I think it's had 0 impact. And to be fair, it's him and Fallen currently sat at the bottom of the board, which was something I said on their CT side shouldn't be the case. They should be the ones leading the charge. It does show a lot of these rounds have been fairly close with the way the frag distribution currently is. JW still has to be careful here. He's going to be up against a lot of pistols, and he's going to get overwhelmed.
Crimson Flusher, both by Arch side. I'm expecting this to be a Brolan banger of a round as they start to push. They're actually so fragmented as they come round. They walk into Crims. He's the one doing the damage with the M4. Oh, Fallen trades it back as well. It's now a 2v2 out of nothing, and this is classic Fallen on display. Normally, he starts to clutch these rounds. Goes for the bomb plant, gets it down. It's a glass cannon AWP. Fallen 1v2. History really writes itself in these rounds. This is where he thrives. They push their way on towards the site. Sets up on a nice one-and-done angle, hoping for the push. Fantastic Molotov, an awkward miss, and he goes down. Fnatic, they get match point. There was a hope, a lifeline given to MIBR, Tom. They couldn't snatch it.
I think there's so much to just talk about even in that clutch. Like, Golden was the solo B player, and he came into that retake with, I think, a flash, a smoke, and a Molotov. And that wins them the round. Like, there's absolutely nothing that Fallen can do. The second that Molotov goes down, he either hides and loses, or he runs through, and, well, you witness what happened. Like, they knew exactly where he was going to be. So, although Golden doesn't get any of the kills, he still plays a big, big part in that round. It did come a little bit too close for comfort. Nade's going to be going down again and doing a lot of damage. JW even going to find a pick through mid. This is looking like the beginning of the end. Flashback comes through. JW misses, but he's given a second chance. And now they MIBR need a miracle. Like, they have shown very little. Just 3 rounds over on their T side, and they're fighting with just 3 players remaining.
They need a hero. Someone to save them. It's all going wrong. Who is going to step up and lead by example? KNG waltzes through the smoke. He's got the backstab potential. Trigger discipline as he holds it. Gets the first. Here could come the second as he spams around. Flusher barely gets away. Slowed down as the bullets connect. We're into a 3 versus 2 now. KNG just runs out towards the site whilst reloading, Tom. Gives Crims a frag. And it's all left on Lucas to try and keep MIBR alive into the game. 50 seconds on the clock. He has the bomb. If Fnatic win this round, it will be a 16-10 victory on Inferno, and they will take their map pick in the best of 3.
I'd be very surprised if they let this slip. I think, although you'd have to give props over to Lucas, you'd have to criticize massively Fnatic for mistakes, and I just don't think they've been making too many in this CT half. Like, there's still been rounds that have been given away, like the first one we saw from MIBR where it was just a brawl on banana. There's so much experience left alive. 15 seconds left. Nice shot from Lucas. That could be the chance. It's Crims still waiting on the site. He's trying to just pre-fire angles. He knows he has to with only 19 HP, and he's going to run out of time. There is no way that he doesn't get killed by Crims here. It's a 16-10 scoreline, and in the end, not that close considering how things started